Hello, thank you for watching. In the next several videos, I'm going to show you different ways to paint with acrylic. And we're going to make a chart with 4 different spheres, and on each sphere, we're going to have different types of brush strokes. So here I'm using a compass to make circles. You can use a circular object and trace around it. It doesn't really matter. I think it's a good idea to make all of the spheres the same size. So the background open spaces you can paint very loosely, but I really want to emphasize here that when you get to the edges of the circle and the division between the background and the table, you want to paint slowly, and you want to add water to your paint in order to make your paintbrush glide a little bit more smoothly across the canvas, allowing you to create a nice even edge. And of course, when you get to the broad open spaces, you can paint as fast and as loose as you want. Right now we're just working on an underpainting. Even though we're going to paint over the entire underpainting, it's very important because it sets the tone for the entire painting. Notice how the paint looks really wet. I've added a little bit of water to the paint so that it would flow smoothly, and of course around the edges of the circle and where the table divides from the background, I add even more water so that we can make those edges nice and even and sharp. Okay, after you've painted the background on the table, now you can work on the circle. So in the middle of the circle, you can paint very quickly, but of course, once again, and I hate to keep repeating this 1,000 times, but when you get to the edges, you want to slow down, add water, and try to make those edges nice and even. And take some time and effort to make nice, even edges. You want to do the same thing with all 4 of the circles. You can paint them with the exact same color. Just make it easier. All right, now you can divide the canvas in half. Now, we have just 4 circular shapes. They're flat. What we want is to turn the circular shapes into spherical forms. You can see the different parts of light and shadow in this diagram. Each of our spheres will be composed of the different parts of light and shadow. So before we start painting, we are going to draw the different parts of light and shadow on all the spheres. We are simply going to outline all of the parts of light and shadow, and our drawings will be virtually identical on all 4 of the spheres. Notice how there's an outline around the center light, the halftones, the core shadow, and the reflected light. I've used a color pencil so that you'd be able to see these lines a little bit better. When I draw the cast shadow on the table, I'm going to use a regular pencil because the table's light and the pencil's dark. Unfortunately, because the fluorescent light above me, you really can't see the pencil very well either, but you get the point. So after I finish drawing all these different parts of light and shadow on the first sphere, I'm going to continue drawing the exact same parts of light and shadow on all 3 of the other spheres. And when you've done that, you've completed the first part of this exercise. Thank you for watching.